Okay, welcome everybody. It's another Tour Tuesday. Thank you so much for joining us. Like I said, we've got already 81 people on this call. Lots and lots of people joining this popular Tour Tuesday. We're talking about three tours, and I will share my screen. The first tour we're going to be talking about is the Ark Encounter and Creation Museum Christmas. This is in Ohio and Kentucky, and you can consider this is like a holiday tour sandwich. We start with a holiday tour, we end with a holiday tour, and we've got a birthday bash in between. So three pretty cool tours, if I do say so myself. Like I said, after the Ark Encounter and Creation Museum, we're going to talk about the Starr Birthday Bash at the Greenbrier Resort. And then we are going to talk about New Year's Eve at Lake Morey Resort in Vermont. So I'm thrilled to have all of you here today. It is we're almost in the busy time of year when we sort of hit, I guess, mid-August through the end of October. Pretty busy here. We've got a fair amount of tours coming up. So the office is busy. Lots of people calling and still booking, lots of people calling with final payments, lots of trip kits going out in the mail, lots of emails being sent. We're pretty much wearing roller skates running around the office all day long. So um, we are excited to present these three programs. The first program, like I said, I'm going to jump right in. We have a special guest here with us today. This is Lori Hall. Lori's a first timer. Wave hi, Lori. Lori is the leisure sales manager for the Cincy region. So, Lori, tell us, what is the Cincy region? What does that mean? Hold on, where'd you go? Where'd you go, Lori? There you are. Hold on, let me get you to unmute.
Sorry, there we go.
Sure.
Sorry. Can
No
you hear me
worries.
okay?
Yep,
Okay, perfect. So yes, that's a very common question. And Cincy really is just our local nickname for the destination as a whole, which really makes up Cincinnati, Ohio, and Northern Kentucky. So we market to leisure visitors as a region. So really, it's just two states within one destination.
I love it. And Lori and I know each other from multiple different trade shows, Pennsylvania Bus
Yes.
Association, American Bus Association. So it's great to have you today for your first Tour Tuesday, hopefully first of many. So thank you for joining us.
Well, thanks. Thanks so much. Yes, first of all, Sandy, thank you for allowing me, the opportunity to join you all and to tell you about the Cincy region and this amazing Christmas themed tour that Star Tours has put together. We absolutely love welcoming Star Tour guests to the region. Y'all are some of our favorite visitors. We know how much planning goes into creating memorable group experiences, so that we're excited that you're coming on this webinar to learn more about and hopefully experience the Christmas traditions in the Cincy region. So, kind of to elaborate on that whole Cincy region description, you kind of get to experience the two different vibes of two different states within the destination. So, on one side of the river, you have Cincinnati, an urban destination filled with historic German architecture, professional sports, world-class museums, arts, culture, dining, the whole thing, right? And then you cross over the Ohio into northern Kentucky, and you get to experience a little bit different of a pace, a little bit more historic rivertown charm, tree-lined communities, Southern hospitality, and where would we be if we didn't mention bourbon, right? We're in the state of Kentucky. So, just a little bit different experience on both sides of the river, but the joy of it is it's very, close in proximity. So, traveling doesn't seem so crazy when you're going to and from the different destinations and the stops.
Awesome. Thank you for that overview. That's great.
Yeah.
Um, Yeah, there is of course, when I was reviewing this tour Tuesday, when I built the tour, there is so much to do in this region. Uh, and this tour is chock full. So we'll just jump right in.
Yeah, we can.
Um, you guys can see my screen, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, awesome. So this tour is called the Ark Encounter and Creation Museum Christmas in the Cincy region, Cincinnati, and Northern Kentucky. It is December 1st through 5th. So what a way to kick off the month of December, right, right after Thanksgiving weekend. Finish the turkey, put everything away, pack up your clothes, and you're going to kick off the holiday season with this wonderful trip. It's 5 days and 4 nights. It includes 6 meals, as you can see, and $12.79 per person based on 2 people in a room, and $15.79 per person for your own room. So we're gonna start because
Okay.
we got to drive west. So many of these great destinations, we got to get on the Pennsylvania Turnpike, and this is one of them. So we're going to head to Ohio, where we're going to stay in the Columbus area. Our first night is at a Drury Inn. We love Drury Inns. Why? Because they've got wonderful Midwestern hospitality. They've got big rooms, comfortable beds, the cleanest hotel that chain that we know, and they have a kickback. So kickback is kind of like a light dinner for everybody, or some people might call it a heavy dinner, depending on how you eat. But it's kind of like a free dinner. You don't even really have to leave the hotel if you don't want to. So we do love to stay at Drury Inns, and this is a hotel that we're familiar with. So after we stay in Columbus, we are going to wake up in the morning, have breakfast, and head out to Cincinnati. And that's where Lori is going to tell you all about what we're going to see. So the first stop is the American Sign Museum, which I didn't even know existed until Lori told me about it. So tell everybody about it because obviously you're going to figure out why we put this in the itinerary.
Of course, yeah. So the American Sign Museum is one of our most like colorful and nostalgic attractions. I really feel like it's one of those places where guests walk in curious and just leave with a smile. The museum tells the story of American signage throughout history, like from neon signs to roadside advertising, and the signs that, we just all grew up with seeing throughout childhood into adulthood. And so I love it is a group tour favorite. People love going in and just seeing signs that they probably haven't seen in a long time and sharing stories and just bringing up those memories. And so we find here that an attraction that appeals to all, ages. Um, um, yeah, sorry, hold on one second. Sorry. They just recently did in 2024, did an expansion of about 20,000 square feet. So it just kind of is a testament to, the incredible growth of its collection and visitor demand. They're constantly bringing in new signs to showcase. So we hope to see, just even another expansion outside of that in the future. So, but again, it appeals to all different generations. So it's just a great group attraction.
It looks really
And
cool.
then we then move on to the banks, lunch on your own at the banks. I did provide Sandy a dine around guide for the restaurants and bars that are in the banks. So you can maybe check that out to kind of plan beforehand what you'd like, what kind of dining experience you'd like to have. And even if you have some free time, I know it's going to be in December, but December here can be kind of crazy. I've had it to where it's spring-like weather or it could be snowing, but for the most part, I feel like December is still pretty mild around here. So if you finish your meal and you kind of have a little bit of free time before you have to get back on the bus, be sure it's right along the river. So, enjoy, some of the river views and if you have time to kind of do that before or after you eat. So
Great.
yeah, that
Yes, I
would
will
be
provide the tour director with that list of restaurants so that everybody on the trip will be able to see where to go.
awesome. Awesome. And then, sorry, I've got your things. So your slide. Okay, cool. You switched. Okay. So from there, you'll travel about 35 minutes south to northern Kentucky, into Petersburg, Kentucky, to experience the Creation Museum. Some cool little facts about the Creation Museum. Since opening in 2007, they've welcomed more than six or a little bit more than 6 million visitors from all 50 states and all different countries. It's just a huge tourism driver to the region. 75 square foot of exhibit space, bringing the Bible to life through interactive exhibits, displays, and just kind of tells that story. Um, you can enjoy beautiful botanical gardens, which will still be relevant that time of year. Just maybe not as much flowers, but they'll have some kind of probably putting in poinsettias or something more along that time of the year. But we put in a brand new conservatory that features plants from the Bible. They have a planetarium, a special effects theater, and even a small zoo that's all included in your admission. So it's a great value for what you get at the attraction itself. Which if you don't already know, the Creation Museum is part of another sister attraction, the Ark Encounter. So you'll get to experience that a little bit later in the tour, but they are all part of Answers in Genesis, which is the company that kind of the umbrella of the company that represents both of them. So, and as you make your way back to the river, you'll enter Newport, Kentucky. Newport is just a fascinating little city. It's just worn so many hats throughout history. It's been a military town, it's been a riverboat port. It used to be known as the Las Vegas of the East.
I
And
did not
today
know
it's one of Northern Kentucky's most popular entertainment and tourism destinations. All this and packed into a little city that's about 1 square mile along the riverfront. So Newport's pretty special to not only a lifelong resident myself, but just the community as a whole. So just another little thing about the what Newport used, the history of it. It was known as for the military for nearly a century. The U.S. Army maintained Newport barracks here, so it's a very important and military crossroads, like through America's westward expansion. Period in time. So now it's kind of transformed itself into a family-friendly destination filled with restaurants, attractions, parks, and just beautiful riverfront views. So we cherish Newport a lot in Northern Kentucky. But tonight's dinner stop is a perfect example of that heritage. Hofbrauhaus Newport. It's the first authentic Hofbrauhaus in America, modeled after the original in Munich, Germany. Guests will experience German food, music, and if you're so inclined to learn how to do the chicken dance, that's available too. The portions are very generous, so please come hungry. They do have a brewery on site, so that's kind of cool just to kind of peek in and see what that looks like. And they have one of the largest outdoor beer gardens in the region. It houses about 350 people just outside. So the space is massive. It's a group favorite. They have it as a well-oiled machine. They know how to treat our guests, but especially our group tour guests. So you'll have a great experience there while you're in Newport at Hofbrauhaus. Okay, then you're going to be going after dinner. You're going to be traveling into the neighboring city of Covington, Kentucky, where you'll check into the Holiday Inn Express. And Molly, the director of sales there, I can't say enough amazing things about Molly. She will be there personally to welcome you. And she's like, the only reason I'm not going to be there is if I'm sick or under the knife. Like I will be there.
that.
So she's great. She loves to like hop on the bus, welcome you, give you a little bit of history of Covington. She's a history buff. So, any history questions, she's probably going to be able to answer it, Covington and beyond. But she just really does kind of go above and beyond to make our guests feel welcome and special. So you'll have a great experience with Molly there. And we actually at the CVB provide all of our hotels with welcome gifts. So she'll have those on site to give you just as a little thank you from the CVB for coming and exploring Northern Kentucky and Cincinnati. So
Thank you. That's
we just
awesome.
really appreciate you guys coming and choosing our area for your destination group tours. So,
Awesome.
okay, so day 3. We are at St. Mary's Cathedral, Basilica, and in Covington, and it's really one of our most beautiful treasures. Before arriving though, you'll kind of travel through the city of Covington, and you'll probably notice. I mean, the community itself was shaped by German immigrants back in like during the 1800s. So you can still see that influence today. A lot of German architecture is very visible in the neighborhoods, the churches, and just our different buildings down there. So that's really cool to see. And then you might be able to see, you won't maybe not see it on the way to the church, but at some point in your tour, you're going to see the Roebling suspension bridge, which was the inspiration for the Brooklyn Bridge in New York, if you weren't familiar with that. Anytime I've ever gone to Brooklyn, it weirds me out because I just think I'm looking at the Roebling, but it's really, the Brooklyn Bridge. So that bridge as well, I'm just going to kind of go off on a tangent a little bit on the suspension bridge, but it was actually in the movie Ides of March. I think that was a movie back in 2011, but they filmed scenes along the Covington Riverside Drive, and they feature Cincinnati skyline in the background. So kind of still going along with that two states, one incredible view, right? So, but once you get to St. Mary's, just prepare to be amazed. It has one of the largest collections of stained glass windows in the world. The large stained glass window, as you pull up, if you're coming, which you will be from that side of Covington, measures 67 feet by 24 feet. So it is just a sight to be seen. The architecture was actually inspired by Notre Dame in Paris. It has, pointed arches, gargoyles, just incredible stonework on the outside. And then you venture inside, and just the attention to detail, the ornate, features that the church has is just, I mean, it's just beautiful. It's breathtaking, just the craftsmanship and detail. So I hope you really enjoy that. I know I do. Sometimes when you live here, you kind of discount the treasures that you have where you live, and that's definitely one of them. So, and then next you'll travel to Dry Ridge, Kentucky. Just a fun kind of fact about Dry Ridge. It has an interesting history because its growth was connected to kind of a surprising discovery, mineral water of all things, right? 1909, workers drilling a well discovered that there was mineral water, and they believed that there was healing properties within it. So people would travel, across the eastern United States to experience, what later became known as the Kentucky Carlsbad mineral water. So I didn't know that for a long time. So I just thought that was kind of interesting. And they used to have a luxury resort hotel there. So just some things that kind of were from the past that kind of made Dry Ridge stand out a little bit. So that was just some fun things for me to learn
It's
about
weird that it's
and
called
share
Dry
with you.
Ridge,
I'm
and
sorry.
it's funny that it's called Dry Ridge and it's
Right?
water
It was
like
supposed to be named Carlsbad. I mean, that was going to be its name, but somehow it ended up being Dry Ridge. So, but yeah, so they kind of welcome people in a different way now through just, true Southern Kentucky hospitality, which is what you'll experience when you go to Kelly's Homestead. It's a great little stop right off the expressway. She has her own recipes. It's comfort food. They have a great little shopping spot right next door. So, make sure that you can maybe take a little piece of Kentucky home with you. It's just a little gift shop that you can maybe stop in before or after your meal. And it's just a great little relaxing setting, and a great group option for our traveling groups.
oh,
And then from there, Patriots Landing. This stop is just really special because of the passion behind the mission of Patriots Landing. Joe, the founder, is just really deeply committed to supporting our veterans, and creating a place where veterans can connect and create and just continue serving their communities. A lot of the handcrafted items you'll see, from wooden crosses to wooden flag cases, are made by the veterans in their on-site wood shop. And so when you get to Patriots Landing, Joe kind of gives you the overview of the mission and the story, and tells the story. And then you can opt to kind of go back in the wood shop and meet some of the veterans. And it's just a really great opportunity to kind of appreciate that and appreciate what he's doing out there at Patriots Landing. And, that was maybe in 2023 when when I started and I got to know him. And it's just, I ask people all the time what you think of different, attractions, and that's really become a group tour favorite. So we're excited to be able to feature them.
I loved it. When I called, he answered the phone and
He
like he told
does.
me all
He's
about
just
it.
so
Sounds
down to
really
earth
great.
and personable. So yeah, he's great to work with.
Good, good.
And he just does a great job for our group. So, and so then we get to encounter the not no pun intended, but the Ark Encounter. It's one of the most recognizable attractions for the region. It's a huge driver to our region. We're so thankful to be able to showcase the Ark Encounter. It's just truly kind of like the cathedral, just a sight to behold. I mean, they've welcomed about 9.2 million guests since opening in 2016, and probably about 16,000 bus tours. I mean, it's a great attraction for our region. It's built to biblical dimensions, so it measures 510 feet long, 85-foot wide, and 51 feet high. So it's about 1.5 football fields long, just to kind of put it in perspective. It's considered one of the largest timber frame structures in the world, and it contains approximately 3.3 million board feet of timber. So just to kind of, I don't know, just elaborate on the size and sheer just mass of this, the arc.
Yeah.
It's
I'm
just an
trying to
amazing
like,
thing to see.
it's
Yeah,
humongous.
it is. It is.
It's
But
hard to fit it into a slide.
it's hard, right? But yeah, I mean, it's one thing when you see it on a screen versus see it in person. It's really magical, but it's really, really magical, at the holidays. They light up the ark so beautifully, and some of the things that you'll experience at the Christmas time festivities at the ark. There's Christmas lights everywhere. There's going to be special presentations via video that you can watch that kind of tie into Christmas, live music, live nativity. Just it's so interesting to just see the ark all lit up at the holidays. It's really neat, and I don't think anybody does Christmas quite like the ark. So, lots of things that you can explore there while you're visiting. And then I believe you're having dinner there, correct? I'm
Yes,
sorry.
yes, at
Okay, at
Amzara's.
Mzara's. Yes, at Mzara's. So that is going to be, according to Eddie Lutz, who is, the man behind the Ark. He knows everything and anything about the Ark, and he deals with all of our group tours. I think he said it's the second largest restaurant in America. 1,700 seats. You're not going to have a problem finding a seat. They have amazing. It's a buffet style meal, and if you haven't tried Brussels sprouts before, or if you say you haven't liked them, try their Brussels sprouts. They are delicious. I was not a fan of Brussels sprouts, and Eddie made me a fan of their Brussels sprouts. So, a great meal, quick and in and out, and then you'll be on your way back to the hotel. And so day 4, we're starting out with the Cincinnati sightseeing tour, the Cincy sightseeing tour. So after breakfast, you'll enjoy a guided sightseeing tour through the Cincy region. You're going to hear stories about our history, the innovation that took place to bring us where we're at now, our historic German heritage that kind of shows through our neighborhoods and the things that make us unique. I don't know if anybody's heard of Geta before, but Geta is something that, you'll probably hear about on your tour. It's a very regional Cincinnati food staple. And the reason why I like to highlight that is because I had somebody come up from Lexington and I was talking about Geta and they're like, what is that? I mean, so Lexington is an hour from us. So I feel like Geta is something that a true Cincinnatian would know because it's really only a 60-mile radius of where we're at right now that even know what it is. But we cook it at breakfast. It's a breakfast staple in my house, I know. But while you're here, I implore you to try, some Geta. It's a great, Cincinnati staple. But next, I guess you're on to the Crone Conservatory. This is located in Eden Park. Crone has been a Cincinnati treasure since 1933. The park itself was named after Nicholas Longworth's estate, and which he called the Garden of Eden. So it was during the Great Depression that conservatory opened their doors, and have really welcomed generations of visitors for more than like 90 years. So it's a great Cincinnati treasure as well. During the holiday season, you're going to see beautiful greenery, poinsettias everywhere. the model train that kind of goes around the whole conservatory, kind of featuring they feature miniature Cincinnati landmarks along the way, so it's kind of cool to see that as well. Even just myself living here, I love going there every Christmas and getting to see their displays. So. Next, you're on to Element Eatery. You're going to be working up an appetite, so we'll introduce you to Element Eatery. It's basically a food court for adults. I like to refer to it to. That age-old question: where can we find something that everybody likes? Well, you'll be able to find it at Element. We choose locally owned Cincinnati area restaurants, so you're not going to find chains there. You can enjoy things from burgers, pizza, Mexican food, desserts. And if you're so inclined, there is a bar smack dab in the middle. So you can maybe try a Cincinnati local beer or bourbon. So lots of options food wise, but I just love that they feature it and it's not like a chain food court. It's all authentic, Cincinnati area restaurants. So that's just something really cool for us to feature for you all. Next, it's going to be time for something sweet. So Dosher's Candies is a must when you're here. They've been making candy since 1871. So kind of to put that in perspective as far as the timeline, Ulysses S. Grant was president. The Brooklyn Bridge hadn't even been completed, and the Cincinnati Reds had not even played their first game. So it's been around a long time. It's a great tradition, especially like my family goes up there every year. But Dozier's, if you haven't heard, or knew, they're the oldest, America's oldest candy cane maker. So they still make them by hand. They're going to be different shapes because they roll and twist them and shape them, by hand. So they're also the creators of the French Chew, if you've ever had one of those. And the stop itself, you're going to get to go in and see, some of the history behind the candy cane and French Chew. And they have a little shop there, and you can also, grab a coffee and get a sweet treat while you're there. So that's always a great little stop. And then your final stop is going to be filled with nostalgia, at least for me, and anybody who's ever been and seen the Shiloh Elves. So they're located in Marymount, Ohio. But before they were making their home in Marymount, the elves, and I just remember this as being a child, we would dress up and we would go downtown and we would get to see the holiday or the Shiloh elves in the holiday windows of Cincinnati Shiloto's department store. It was the first department store back. It was founded in 1832, and it's just been a great tradition for locals for so many years. And I've brought my kids to it, and I hope they continue that tradition with their families. But the Shiloh Elves always just have a special place in my heart for my childhood and just what they bring to people at Christmas time. I think it's a really cool exhibit and they're animated and it's just fun for all ages. So, I hope you all enjoy that as well. I just think it's a great treasure that we have too. So, in closing, I just hope you guys have an amazing time when you're here in December. I hope you get to experience our history, our hospitality, our food. But most importantly, we have some great partners, and I hope you get to meet the people who make this destination so special. It takes a village, and we really just love having people here and experience what we love and we get to call home. So, even in the colder months, it's still a destination, and I hope you fall in love with it just as much as I do. I've been here pretty much my whole life, and I'll be here, for the duration. So, thank you again for letting me share a little piece of my hometown with you. Safe travels, and I can't wait to welcome Starr Tours in December.
Thank you so much, Lori. We really appreciate this.
Of
Um,
course.
we, of course, as you know, Lori said, all good things come to an end. So we will spend our last night at that same Drury Inn in the
Hmm.
Columbus area. There was a question when there's dinner on own, how does that work? Whenever we have dinner not included, there's always going to be options for you, either within close walking distance or the bus will shuttle you to places where you can get dinner. In this case, you're probably likely going to be fine at the Drury and Kickback, but there will be other options for you. Somebody also asked if there is a lot of walking on this tour. Yes, there is a lot of walking, and I want to say uh, there's a lot of movement on this tour. First of all, as you know, it's a 5-day tour, and you were here to listen to all of the different things that Lori talked about. So there's a lot of off and on the bus. There's a lot of different attractions. Of course, the Ark being what 1.5 football fields. The conservatory, those are always large. You saw the picture of the building for Patriots Landing. So you're going to go into a big basilica. There is definitely a lot of walking. I want you to understand that. This is a very popular, well-loved tour, I should say. We usually send a group every year, and the surveys or the results are very, very high scoring. Everybody loves, loves, loves this region, especially the highlight being the Ark. So if you are there was a question about this tour being handicap accessible. It's hard for me to know what that means. If you are wheelchair bound, we should have a discussion before you book this trip. If you can get around, but you might want to bring a wheelchair just for the large attractions, that'd be fine. That would be
Mhm.
fine. Certainly, the Ark Encounter is ADA accessible. All of the new attractions are. It's when you get into the historic attractions, the
Mhm.
churches,
Right.
things like that that are not always ADA, ADA certified or accessible. So hopefully that answers the questions that were put in the chat. Does anybody else have any questions for Lori? Just put this right back on here so you can see the price. Um, the tour is going to be escorted by Paulette Nagorka. There are 27 people already booked on this trip, so we've got about 25 seats left for those folks who still want to book, and we hope you do. It is for sure going to be a great trip. Um, any questions for Lori? I
No,
see a thank you. I see
I
a
li
thank you.
I probably went into a little bit too much, but you know what? I'm just excited. I love where I live. I love promoting it, and I love when people come and see what I get to promote. And I hope to see all you in December. And I would love to stop by, maybe the hotel and see you all in person because anytime I'm able to, I would love to just greet you and welcome you to Cincy. So
We would
thank
love it.
you.
When you get on the bus, say who was on tour Tuesday, and I'm sure you'll see
That's
a few
right.
people
That's
too.
right.
So thank you very, very much, Lori. We
Thank you
appreciate you
all.
being here, and I'll talk to you in, next few days.
Okay. Sounds great. Thanks, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
All right. I am going to introduce you to Lynn King. Let me see if I can find Lynn on my screen. Lynn, she is the director. She is the regional sales manager of Greenbrier Resort, and Greenbrier is where we are going to spend our 79th birthday bash. Let's see. I see you. Yeah, there we go. There's Lynn. Say hi.
Hi, everybody.
Lynn is a first-time presenter for Starr as well, our second of three first-timers. So Lynn and I have been working together, I guess, for probably a year and a half at this point, planning this wonderful trip that already has 150 people signed up to go, and we have about 50 more spots. You are more than welcome to join us, and we have a lot to share. So we're going to jump right in. And okay, like I said, this is our 79th birthday bash. Um, it's not our actual 79th birthday bash, but it's our 79th birthday, and we're having a bash. We dance on a weeknight. We have so much fun. Yes, it's Star's birthday. Um, Not mine exactly. I'm not 79 yet, but it's Star's birthday, and as a tradition, we give you presents. I know that's silly. That's kind of just what we do in my family and at Star. Yes, it's our birthday, but we celebrate with you and we celebrate you for helping us get to 79 years. This is a very, very special destination that we've put together, I think, a wonderful package for you. It's November 1st through 4th. I will be there. I am going to have fun with you all. I'm currently in the process of convincing my parents to come, so we'll see. We'll see, but no promises, no promises. Anyway, we'll be there for 3 nights. We'll have breakfast every morning. We'll have one birthday bash dinner, and we'll have one dinner that you'll get $100 gift card that you can eat at any of the Greenbrier restaurants. I thought that was a better idea than, deciding for you where to eat because there's so many different restaurants, and we'll talk about that shortly. Shortly. So you can see the rates here. Two people in a room, it's $15.99 per person, and for your own room, for those lucky people, it's $20.99 per person. I first figured I would start off with we've got four buses going on this trip. We've got the white bus, and our tour director is Karen Poria. You can see the pickup locations that are listed. So she'll be with our Cherry Hill and Tom's River guests. The gold bus is Christine. She will be the tour director. She's going to be picking up in Bensalem. Jean is going to be escorting the red bus. He'll be picking up in Bensalem, Northeast Philly at Klein Life, South Philly, Chester, and down in Virginia to meet our folks traveling from Air Tours. And Penny will be escorting our blue bus, picking up at in Hamilton and also shuttling in the folks from the APA Hotel in Island. So we still have room for you. I know we still had people booked today. A few days ago, we were sold out. We were going to do 3 buses, but we didn't want to turn anyone away to this wonderful celebration that we'll be experiencing all together. So we have 4 buses. Thankfully, Lynn has coordinated a lot of rooms at the hotel, a lot of rooms. It's not even a hotel, it's a resort, it's an experience. Like the first few slides, I just needed to show you pictures. Lynn, do you want to like set the stage? Tell what is Greenbrier? Why does it look so immense? And why is it fancy? And I don't know, just give us some background.
Well, first of all, I'd be happy to give you some background. And first of all, I just want to say how thrilled we are that we are going to be hosting you for your 79th anniversary and this birthday bash. We're thrilled to have everybody coming. We're thrilled that it is selling so well, and you have so many folks who are interested in being with us. So, really looking forward to seeing everybody in November. Um, why does it look so immense? It is because it is so immense. We are a little over 1 million square feet under roof, and we are located on 11,000 acres. So all totaled, we have, depending on who you ask, somewhere over 600 overnight guest rooms at our resort. This includes all of our rooms in the main hotel building, which is where all of you all will be. But it also includes our estate homes, multi-bedroom cottages are included in those numbers as well. So the existing hotel was originally built in 1901. That's when construction on it was finished. But the Greenbrier actually dates back to the late 1700s. I'm going to echo a little bit about what Lori was talking about when she was talking about the mineral water. Originally, when the people from the South, Louisiana, Alabama, the deep South, where it was so hot in the summertime, when they first started coming to our resort to escape the heat in the summertime, they came because we have a white sulfur springs, an actual white sulfur spring on property. And there again, they thought that if they came and actually ingested the sulfur water, that there were healing properties to that sulfur water as well. So when you're with us on property, you'll be able to see a room where the spring water was actually piped into the main hotel, and that's where people would go to get their dose of health. from the mineral spring. So that's how the whole thing got started. We are, as I said, located on about 11,000 acres. So we have a variety of different activities that are right on property. There are more than 50 different activities on property that you can do. Everything from bunker tours to carriage rides, sleigh rides in the wintertime when there's snow, fishing, hiking, off road driving. We have one of only, I think, two falconry demonstrations in the country where several different types of falcons and different types of predatory birds are displayed. Um, so there is lots to do, to say the least, on the property. We have four golf courses at the resort, indoor and outdoor swimming pools. We have a casino on property. We have a five-star spa on property and tennis courts, pickleball courts, movie theater on property, bowling alley on property. So lots of different things to do and choose from. So we're pretty immense for sure.
That sets the stage. That is awesome. Thank you for doing that. I appreciate it. We'll come back
Sure.
to you to sort of give some more color and insight. Are the rooms that we have been assigned that we will be staying at are called traditional guest rooms. Everyone is different. Here are some pictures of some different rooms and bathroom because it's always good to see what a bathroom looks like in somebody's room.
Right.
But and you can see the amenities listed there. These are the finest spa toiletries, a Keurig coffee maker, even though there's coffee, available in the lobby, a lighted vanity mirror, which is always helpful for looking your best. Just at anything you can ask for. Of course, robe and slippers is my favorite. So you can see it's just really kind of a very special place. Um, Lynn mentioned an indoor pool. Yeah, this is not just your regular indoor pool. So you can see these, Dorothy Draper type accoutrements and furnishings. There's an afternoon tea, restaurants of all different types. So again, setting the stage. So, just to talk about what our visit includes, as I mentioned, traditional sleeping room accommodations. We'll have a breakfast buffet daily in the main dining room, morning coffee service in the lobby. If you didn't want to make coffee in your Keurig, you could go down and get coffee. There's a daily afternoon tea with musical entertainment every afternoon. There are nightly movies in the theater. Obviously, the indoor pool that we've talked about, the historical tours and presentations in the morning. This does not include the bunker tour, but obviously there is a bunker tour, which we'll talk about later. The wireless internet is included throughout the resort. You can go in the casino club and they'll do a champagne toast on Tuesday. You'll have access to the President's Cottage Museum. There is on-property transportation available, hiking and meditation trails. There's an entertainer cabaret, fitness equipment available, and of course, baggage handling. So that's pretty much what our visit includes. And then some of the activities are free or included in the stay, and then some have an additional cost. We can talk about that later as well. There is a dress code, a recommended dress for those of you going on this trip. So we want to talk about that. Greenbrier wants you to be comfortable. So the primary dress code for most of the areas of the property is resort casual. Well, what does resort casual mean? Collared sport shirts, golf or tennis sweaters, shirts or blouses, um, slacks, walking shorts, Bermuda shorts, golf and or tennis shorts and shoes. So, no t-shirts, no short shorts, no exercise clothes per se. So, think dress nicely, if you will. So during the day, resort casual, like I said, is the appropriate dress. Um, Breakfast is resort casual. Collared shirts for gentlemen. Yes, denim is accepted. Well kept dark denim. Not, your whole jeans with holes. Not that our guests wear jeans with holes, but just to kind of paint a picture for you. And no fitness or sports apparel, like I said, in the main dining room. And then at dinner, in the main dining room, which you can choose to have or not have, right? Because we'll be having our birthday bash dinner in the Cameo Ballroom. Um, and then the first night, you can choose to have dinner in the main dining room if you want, or there are other restaurants. If you choose to have dinner in the main dining room, please, men, a jacket is required, and dresses or suits are required for ladies. Any questions about the dress code while we're here, specifically about the dress code? And we can come back if you have any additional questions later too. For that first night, November 1st, you will want dining reservations. Actually, you will likely want them for the first and or second night. You don't need reservations for every restaurant, but you definitely want to look and see where you think you might want to go dining. And this is the URL to use. So you go to greenbrier.com, dining, and it will tell you the list of all the restaurants, and then you can place a phone call to make yourself a reservation for dinner. Your reservation for dinner will probably should shoot for 6:30 or after. Okay, 6:30 or after. Like again, reservations are required for most restaurants. Here is the phone number, but that phone number is also on the website. Okay. And again, dining reservations for night one and night two. Night three, we have dinner plans. Um, okay, let's talk about the itinerary for a bit. Um, as Lynn said, we're heading to White Sulphur Springs, West Virginia. That is the name of the town that the Greenbrier Resort is in. We'll be checking in for 3 overnights. On that first night, we will give each person a $100 Greenbrier gift card to be used at any of the Greenbrier restaurants. Okay, so I've listed a few of them here. There's a lot, as you can see, there's even more that aren't listed, where sometimes you're not sure if by November 1st, what will still be open. Some of the golf course restaurants or outdoor restaurants may or may not be open at that time, but you can see at least there's a long list of choices for you. So you can spend that $100 and more out of your own pocket, if you will, or you might want to go get some pizza and not spend that $100. Well, if you have anything left over on that gift card, you can spend it throughout the resort on activities or a drink at the bar, whatever you would like. Okay. So that's night one. We're in the resort for sure on that night one. Night two, and night three, that night two is different. Sorry. So we're going to wake up in the morning. We'll have breakfast included in the main dining room. So if you choose not to have dinner in the main dining room, you will have 3 breakfasts in the main dining room. Okay. This is an absolutely fabulous experience. Do you want to talk about the buffet and what we can expect, Lynn?
I'd love to. Actually, that was one of the things that I did want to touch on. The breakfast buffet in the main dining room is not your typical breakfast buffet that you normally find in a hotel. It is a phenomenal, expansive, they're everything that you could hope to find on our buffet is there. There's an omelet station, everything from fresh fruit and yogurt to waffles to blintzes, our famous Greenbrier Danishes. Um, your typical bacon, eggs, sausages, that sort of thing. It is a very lovely, very expansive breakfast buffet. So I highly recommend that you enjoy that while you're on the property. And usually it's enough to get you through breakfast and carry you well into or over lunch as well. So highly recommend that you do that. And as Sandy said, we do prefer denim is fine in the main dining room for breakfast. We do prefer the dark denim with no holes or tears or anything like that, just nicely kept. And then at breakfast is where we prefer golf shirts or button down shirts or golf sweaters, things of that nature.
Yeah, no t-shirts.
No t-shirts, no sweatshirts, that kind of thing. Yeah.
Right. Thank you for clearing that up. Okay, so this is where it gets a little tricky. So as I said before, we'll have four buses um, filled with guests attending this 4-day trip. So day two and day three will have basically be a flip-flop situation. So on day two, the blue and red buses are going to follow this itinerary. And on day three, the gold and white buses will be following this itinerary. Okay, so we're going to be heading to Lewisburg, where we'll visit the North House Museum, followed by Carnegie Hall. Lynn, do you want to talk a little bit about what we could expect at the North House Museum and Carnegie Hall?
Yes, and I made some notes that we can use to just go over this a little bit. Our Carnegie Hall is was actually built by the same Andrew Carnegie that you're familiar with the New York City, the Scotland, the Pittsburgh Carnegie Halls. It was built in 1902 and it started out as a women's college and it was called the Lewisburg Female Institute, which I think is just a terrible, terrible name. But at any rate, it was built in the Greek Revival style, and it started out as a women's college, and then it has seen different iterations of changes and different it from Lewisburg Female Institute. It then went to Greenbrier College for girls. So initial after that initial time frame, it did become a girls' college, and now it is sort of an extension of the local college that is there in Lewisburg area and Beckley area. So there are lots of different classes there, college level classes that take place in the fall. And then during the summer, Carnegie Hall always does a kids college, which is sort of like a camp for children in the summertime. So lots of arts and that kind of thing go on at Carnegie Hall. So you can, there's a self guided tour, as I recall, of Carnegie Hall now as well. So, yes, I do have that in my notes that there is a self guided tour for Carnegie Hall. It's a beautiful, beautiful Greek revival style building. And then the North House Museum is right next door to Carnegie Hall, so it's convenient to do both venues in at the same time. It was originally built in 1820 as a private residence for a man named John A. North, who was a prominent court clerk and lawyer in the Lewisburg area. He and his wife commissioned a mason by the name of John Dunn and a hand carved woodworker by the name of Conrad Burgess. And they built this structure as their primary private residence, and they lived there for over a decade. Then it was sold in 1830 to a man named James Fraser, and he converted it into a building that they called the Starr Tavern and Inn. And it was there to serve travelers who came through on horseback or by carriage or by stagecoach or whatever the case may be. Then later, it was used as the residential home for the presidents of the Greenbrier College for Women. Since it was right next door to that Carnegie Hall that eventually became the Greenbrier College for Women, they turned it into the primary residence for the presidents of that college. And then in 1976, it was converted into the historical museum and the Greenbrier Historical Society, which is where they have their archives, and it's what we know it as today. So the two structures are side by side. They're easy to see at the same time and in the same day. Lots of history there. There's an old original Conestoga wagon that's housed in the North House Museum. Just lots of fascinating history there and beautiful architecture to see at the same time.
Sounds awesome.
Yeah,
Thank you very much, Lynn. Thank you.
sure.
Thank you. So again, day two, the blue and red buses are doing this um, trip to Lewisburg. If you don't want to go to Lewisburg, that's fine. You can absolutely stay back at the resort. You know, there's plenty to do there. Just let your tour director know. So day two continues with lunch and free time on own in Lewisburg. So Lewisburg, just a cute little downtown area with shops and restaurants. Any highlights that you want to mention, Lynn?
I will mention some highlights about Lewisburg as well. It is a very quaint, small town, lots of shopping, lots of restaurants, very walkable. I would say the entire little downtown area is probably not more than 3 or 4 blocks. So it's very easily walkable with nice sidewalks, not it used to be there used to be a lot of brick sidewalks and that sort of thing in the downtown area. They replaced those back several years ago and put in really nice sidewalks, so it's all very easily walkable. I would mention also that Old Stone Presbyterian Church is located in close proximity to North House and Carnegie Hall. It is one of the oldest churches in the region, and there is a cemetery there as well with headstones that date back to the late 1700s, early 1800s. Just a beautiful building, beautiful sanctuary, and it's kind of interesting to see as well. And then for lunch on your own, there are lots of different options for lunch in the downtown area. Lots of quaint little shops that offer clothing, souvenirs, things for lawn and garden, kitchen store, antique stores, several antique stores in the area. So definitely lots to see and enjoy there as well. And I will say that in 2011, um, Lewisburg was voted the coolest small town in America. So that's kind of an interesting little claim to fame that a small town like Lewisburg has as well.
That's awesome. Great. Great. Thank you for that.
Sure.
So after that, the you'll come back to the resort. So you'll be back to the resort about 3 p.m. and you'll have the rest of the afternoon, evening on own. On the second night, any of the guests on any of the buses can have dinner at the hotel again, or we will take you in a Star bus to downtown White Sulphur Springs. So another quaint small town. with some restaurants that you might want to find. If you're the gold and white buses and you've spent the whole day at the resort, maybe you want to change the scenery and take the shuttle to downtown White Sulphur Springs. Um, whatever that, however that would work for you. Everybody's allowed and available to go downtown on the night of day two.
Yeah.
All right. Day three, we're gonna wake up and have breakfast in the main dining room again. And this is the day for the red and blue buses to have the free day on own to enjoy the amenities. And the gold and white buses, remember, um, uh, now I'm confusing myself, but basically you're going to do the opposite that you've done on day two. So two of the buses will stay at the resort and have a full day at the resort, and a full morning until 3 p.m., I should say, um, out and about in Lewisburg. So you either go to Lewisburg until 3 p.m. or have your whole day at the resort. And then I just want to show you one thing. Let's see if I can share um, the Greenbrier activities. You're not gonna believe um, all that is available to you if I can actually do it. Um, I don't, it's not, this is not exactly cooperating with me. Um, Lynn mentioned that there's all of these activities, at the resort. And if you go to greenbrier.com calendar, you will see the list of activities. Now, um, the activities are not really posted until about 60 days prior to your stay. Okay, so um, it's a little too early to do it now, but about 60 days in advance, you'll be able to go to the calendar and see all the different activities, right? So what bus you're on based on your pickup point. Uh, Okay, so if you want to take a snapshot of that, we'll be posting this on the website, so you'll be able to see, and you can schedule some activities. You can also call us if you'd like. We'll try to post this on the website so everybody knows how to schedule activities, right? Because we want you to take advantage. I mean, Lynn, the bowling alley, we forgot even to mention bowling, but
Yeah.
horseback riding. There's just so many different things that you can do at this resort. And we do believe that you'll have enough time to do it. Everybody will get a full free day on own to do things, and some time in the evenings as well.
Hmm.
Just to say something about the casino club, there is an actual casino at the Greenbrier. I've listed the dress code here. There are some restaurants adjacent to the casino as well. There's slots. They have a sports book, blackjack, 31 table games, and 160 slot machines. So if you're a gamer, plan to make a visit here. And no, you can't use your gift card at the
No.
casino.
No.
Just going back to those activities, yes, some of them do cost extra, some of them are included, and it'll specify that on the website when you go to check out the activities. The most popular activity that you may want to do is called the bunker tour. And you can see a little bit, we're running a little short on time, so I don't want to go into detail, but this is, like I said, probably the most popular activity at the Greenbrier. It is $52 a person. It is extremely special and memorable, and something that you may want to consider. It is a 90-minute private group journey through these corridors and chambers of this bunker, which you can see a few pictures. It's pretty spectacular, especially for history buffs. So this is something you want to definitely look into. Well, it's going to be time for the birthday bash on day three. So at about 6 p.m., we'll let you know the exact time, but about 6 p.m., we're going to come together in the Cameo Ballroom, this beautiful ballroom. I put a picture here for you. There will be a cash bar available. I've listed the dinner buffet menu, a lovely Southern meal, country fried chicken, shrimp and grits, and brisket, barbecue beef brisket. So this talks a little bit about the ballroom and the special 9 foot wide Czechoslovakian chandelier placed by Dorothy Draper. So a really cool experience that we'll have for dinner. It is a buffet, like I said. And then after dinner, we'll do some presentations. We'll do the giveaways. Like I said, these are the tables of giveaways we gave last year, and we will have lots and lots of giveaways this year as well. So hopefully most of you will get a birthday present for Star's birthday. And we will have live music from the Greenbrier entertainers. So wear your dancing shoes if that's something that you'd like to participate in. We hope you do. And then we are going to have breakfast on our final morning and check out and travel home. So
We
there
can't
is,
see your pictures.
oh, did I not? Thank you. I'm so sorry. I'm glad you told me this. Okay. Well, let's start. This is the bunker tour. So thank you for telling me. I forgot to hit share my screen again. So these are some pictures of the bunker tour. Um, so if you want to take a snapshot of that, this is the dinner buffet menu that I was mentioning, and I went through real fast, but because I thought you were reading it with me, and this picture of the ballroom is absolutely fantastic. I will be there to dine with you and have a wonderful celebration. We'll sing happy birthday. And then this is the picture of the giveaways. If you've been on a birthday bash before, you know we have a really, really good time. It's Star's birthday, it's Air Tour's birthday. We're both the same age, 79. So we'll have a great time at the Greenbrier celebrating the 79th. So let's see. Uh, let's see. I think, oh, our reservations required for the afternoon tea at 4:15. Lynn. Lynn, let me just make sure Lynn's still here. We might have lost her. I don't, Penny, you're shaking your head. Do you know if reservations are required?
She's on, she's just muted.
Hold on. Let me see if I can find her to unmute her. Let me see if I can find Lynn. There's so many. Oh, there she is. Okay, go ahead. Or unmute.
There we
There.
go.
There
Now
you
you've
go.
got me. Thank you. Yeah, reservations for afternoon tea are not required. It goes from 4:15 until 5 o'clock, and it is set up in what we refer to as the upper lobby. So you just show up from 4:15 until 5, and there's hot tea, iced tea, coffee, water, and lots of little sweet treats. So, and that is one of the things that I definitely recommend you don't miss. If you can only do it 1 or 2 days, it's definitely worth experiencing. So be sure to look for that.
Awesome. You'll see me there. I'm an iced tea lover.
Okay, great.
While we have Lynn, our resident expert, does anybody have any questions about this Greenbrier Resort birthday bash trip? Let me see if I can. Um, no, it's not going to cooperate with me to do that for you. But yes, if you go to the website, for Greenbrier's website, you are going to see a lot of helpful information there.
Absolutely.
And you know, this is one of those trips that you do want to do the research on before you go, because you want to make the most of your time in
For
Greenbrier.
sure. For sure. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for your presentation, Lynn. We
Thank
really
you.
appreciate it.
Thank you so much. We're so excited to be hosting you for this fabulous, fabulous event. And congratulations again. And just in closing, I would say don't miss morning coffee service in the lobby. Our staff there are fabulous, and I guarantee you you'll make a friend while you're there. Um, Definitely look in at on the 10:30 hotel history tour, which also departs from the upper lobby, which is where afternoon tea is. That's a complimentary tour, lasts about an hour. If bad weather outside, they'll do it as a slideshow presentation in the movie theater. So look in on the movie theater and see what's going on there as well. And the only other thing that I would mention is in the casino after 7 o'clock and after 7 o'clock p.m. and for dinner in the main dining room, jackets are required. I just would reiterate that for gentlemen. So, and then attire for the ladies, something that is along those lines. So, yes, we're looking forward to seeing everybody, and I plan to be on property. I work remotely typically, but I plan to be on property and be there to meet everyone, and we're really looking forward to having you. So thank you, and thank you for allowing me to join you tonight. It's been a real pleasure.
Thank you, Lynn. We appreciate you. And thanks for
Yeah,
being a first-time presenter.
I
Great
know.
job.
I know. Thank you so much.
All right. Have a good evening. Thank
Thank
you
you.
so
You all
much.
too. Bye.
Bye. Okay. Last but not least, thank you Erin, you win the most patient presenter award for sure. Erin O'Shaughnessy is the director of sales of Lake Morey Resort. And oh boy, we discovered Lake Morey Resort last year on our girlfriend's getaway, and it was a huge hit. We had a sold out bus. Maybe some of you were on that trip, and everybody loved the resort. So I called up the resort and I was like, hey, do you do anything for New Year's Eve? We're always looking to have some kind of a different program or somewhere to go. We love to have parties in a hotel where you can just finish partying and at 12:03 you go right up to your room and go night night. That's what we love. Well, maybe I'm projecting, but I love that.
Oh no, definitely.
So we came up with this program, and we are super excited to present it to you. Our first bus is officially sold out. We have added a second bus, so we'll have two buses, two tour directors for you. You can see here. Am I sharing my screen?
Yes.
Okay, good. All right. December 30th through January 2nd. Oh, look, it's 2027 that we're coming back. Sorry, it's December 30th, 2026 through
We're
January
going
2nd.
back in time.
We don't want to go back in time. No, no, no. 4 days, 3 nights, two breakfasts, one brunch, two dinners. That's a lot of meals. Um, I think it actually might be three breakfasts. We're going to come right back to that. I think
Well, it's
there's
two breakfasts and the one brunch is
Oh,
kind of
thank you.
breakfast buffet.
Thank
Yeah,
you. Yeah.
I got
Okay,
you.
good.
Yeah.
Thank you for this is I'm
I
so
saw the
glad you're
same
here.
thing and yeah, yeah. Mhm.
You can see the rates here, 13.49 per person based on two people in a room, and 16.99 per person based on single occupancy. Um, so Erin is going to take us through. I mean, I don't tell us about Fairleigh and Lake Morey Resort, and what. I mean, this is beautiful. Look, this is a real photo. This is an AI.
Well, Lake Morey Resort has been there since 1905, and our owner, Mark Avery, is third generation. And so his
Yay, third
grandfather,
generation.
yep, his grandfather purchased it in the late 60s, and they've owned it ever since. There's also a golf course, which won't be open in December, but we do have a golf course across the street as well. And Mark is the most committed owner I've ever worked with. He's there basically every day, working really hard, right alongside everybody at the resort. He is actually the one who will greet your bus and say hi to everybody and answer any questions that people might have, give a quick tour of the resort. Following your welcome, do you want me to just kind of go right into
Yeah,
the tour?
absolutely.
Okay. All right. I know we're short on time, so I'll speed talk.
I love it. I love it.
Takes the pressure off me, so it's all good.
Okay,
Um,
good.
so following your welcome, we'll give you key packets, kind of direct everybody to their rooms. We will have a really nice welcome reception for you in the lobby. And then that will be followed by dinner in our main dining room, which will be off menu. So it'll be a lovely dinner. You can choose whatever you want to eat at that point off our lovely menus. And then following dinner, we actually have our own movie theater. So we'll be playing a movie for anybody who would like to stay up and watch one. Then the next day, again, just kind of speeding through, I'll go through the amenities really quickly too. You know, we do have our own small athletic center. We've got an indoor pool that people can enjoy if they want a little morning swim before activities. Again, in the wintertime, you know, obviously the lake is a bit cold, so we don't have much going on in the water, but you're welcome to walk outside and, you know, look at the beauty of the lake. But after a lovely breakfast buffet on day 2, Happy New Year, by the way. Uh, everybody's going to be going to, I think we're still on day 1, but if you want to flip it up
Thank you,
one.
thank you, thank you, thank you. There we
No
go.
worries. You went the other direction. There we go. Perfect.
Okay.
So after breakfast, you're going to travel to one of my favorite locations. It's actually 5 minutes from my home, which is really dangerous. The King Arthur Baking Company that has been around. Forgive me, I don't know exactly when it started, but it's been around for a very long time. You will find everything from, you know, it's a baker's dream. They've got beautiful pottery, baking utensils of all types, bread, dessert mixes, extraordinaire. It's a wonderful place to shop. Grab Christmas gifts, well, post Christmas gifts in this particular instance, but or just things that you want to bring home and make yourself. And then the next stop will be the Quechee Gorge. So this breathtaking gorge is actually Vermont's deepest gorge, formed by a glacial activity approximately 13,000 years ago. They just have rebuilt the bridge. It should be completed, I believe, when you guys are there. But they've got a wonderful walking path there that goes across the entire bridge. So you can get off on the side and then you just go walk across and you look down, and it's amazing. The Ottaquechee River flows 165 feet below you. And if the Welcome Center, I believe the Welcome Center will probably be open at that time too. And they've got a really deep history about the mills that used to be there, using the water for energy, etc. They've got a really nice Welcome Center there. And then I believe the next stop will be Woodstock, Vermont. That is one of the most, it's actually been voted the most quintessential New England town over and over by various different travel publications over the years. So it's very walkable, wonderful, quaint shops, great places to do lunch on your own. And there is a really pretty covered bridge that's right next to the green in town. So you can actually walk there and go walk across the covered bridge if you want to. So that's a real treat. And then back to the resort. Again, Happy New Year's Eve. You'd be dinner on your own. I believe that night people will be making dinner reservations on their own and eating in our main dining room. We'll have a spectacular menu that evening as well. And then our New Year's Eve party starts at 8 o'clock. We've got a live band. It's called Party Factory. They're out of Boston. They should be a lot of fun. I believe we've had them before. Dress is dressy, black tie optional, but certainly not necessary. But just wear your best, most fun evening wear. We're going to have party favorites, and it's an adult art. Yep. So let's start that one over again. Adult only party. We'll have party favors, photo booth. Our beautiful ballroom will be adorned. We work really hard on this for weeks. We have worked really hard on this for weeks to decorate it, and it will just be spectacular. You could dance the night away.
Awesome.
And then day 3, fabulous New Year's Eve brunch, or New Year's Day brunch, I should say, at the resort with all sorts of, waffles and omelets and all everything you could possibly want in a brunch will be there. You'll be completely stuffed for the rest of the day, I promise. And then you're going to be going back to the town of Woodstock to Billings Farm and Museum. That is an award-winning outdoor history museum and fully operational dairy farm. It combines a herd of Jersey cows, draft horses, and other animals with educational exhibits. You can tour the um, farm manager's house and get a glimpse of the past. Really, really interesting. They have all sorts of different exhibits to go through inside the house as well. And you're going on a sleigh ride, which I have done myself, and it's so much fun to go on a sleigh ride across the fields there. So that's a lot of fun. And then I don't know about Glens Falls, so I'll let you talk about that.
Glen Falls is just a photo stop that we'll be doing with a beautiful waterfall. So not a lot of walking. We just get out and look at the beautiful waterfall.
Perfect. And then return to the resort that night. And then you've got another lovely dinner off menu included in our main dining room. And for a special treat that evening, they're also going to do campfire, which is a lot of fun. And we'll have s'mores available as well. So you can, bring out the kid and the camper in you.
I love it. I had so much fun planning this trip, planning the things we were going to do at Lake Morey. So, and yeah, it was so well loved. When when we went last fall, that I was like, we got to do this again. We got to do this again. So that's great. Thank you very much, Erin. Does anybody have any questions for Erin about Lake Morey or about some of the things that we'll be doing on this trip? Like I said, we have two buses. Rhonda is going to be the tour director, and Jean will be the second tour director. They'll be both tour directing, and it's going to be a lot of fun. I mean, a New Year's Eve party with 100 Starr family and friends. Love it, love it. And again, let me just say, you just go right to your hotel room after the party. So,
Exactly.
so fun, so fun. Thank you, Erin. I really appreciate you being here, you waiting patiently for
It was really interesting to learn about all the other tours
I bet
too,
if I run into you at Greenbrier, I'm going to take credit for getting you.
right?
You're welcome to come with us. We have room for you.
My parents have been to the Greenbrier and they said it was amazing. So
Oh, awesome. Awesome. I'm so excited. Well, thank you very much for joining us. And we'll be in touch as we plan further for this wonderful, wonderful event.
sounds great.
All right. Thanks again, Erin. Don't hang up yet because I have special news. There are two ways to book your trip. You can call one of our wonderful travel advisors, Samantha, Leilani, or Jenny, or you can book online at startours.com. We want you to keep up with Starr. Our next Tour Tuesday is more holiday trips. We'll be talking about Boston Yuletide. We'll be talking about the White Mountains Christmas featuring the Omni Mount Washington, and Nantucket Stroll, a Cape Cod holiday, which by the way is almost sold out. So if you're thinking about it, you may just want to book on that tour now, and then learn about it at the Tour Tuesday. We, of course, invite you to our private Facebook groups if you're a solo traveler or if you're interested or you've traveled before with us on cross country. Follow us on Facebook, etc. Because now for the news, because you have been so patient and so kind, and there's so many of you, I'm going to do four winners, four gift card winners today, four winners. Okay, apologies in advance if I mispronounced your name. The first winner is Diane Cocken. So congratulations, Diane. We have your email addresses from when you signed up, so we'll make sure the credit gets to your account. Mary Mork, congratulations. You are a $25 Starr credit winner. Susan Hogue, congratulations, Susan. And Robert Bonham. So, way to go. Thank you very much for sticking with us at 8:25 p.m. on a Tuesday night. I hope I will see many of you in person at our Greenbrier birthday bash on November 1st. And I'm so thankful that you were here with us tonight. So thank you for your patience. Thank you for traveling with us. Thank you for your smiling faces. Thank you for everything. And we'll see you next Tour Tuesday. Bye, everybody.